尽管许多对抗中共肺炎的新药已在开发之中，但川普认为，如果能在经过多年临床实践的药物中找到可以治疗中共肺炎的特效药，就可以更加安全、迅速地投入对病人的救治之中。
A drug called Chloroquine, and some people would add to it hydroxychloroquine, and it's shown very encouraging. Very, very encouraging early results. And we're going to be able to make that drug available almost immediately.
在川普的指示下，美国食品及药物管理局已开始搜集数据，进一步研判氯喹治疗中共肺炎的效果。与此同时，美国继续加大对疑似感染者的病毒检测，并提高各地向疾控中心汇报检测结果的效率。
I'm pleased to receive a report today that tens of thousands of tests are being performed every day. And with the passage of last night's legislations, state and private labs are now required by law to report all coronavirus testing directly to the CDC, which will give the American public and also give our researchers timely and important information.
副总统彭斯强调，没有出现症状的人不要进行病毒测试，因为政府需要优先保证那些已出现症状或与确诊者有过密切接触的人能够有足够的测试盒。截至周四下午4点，美国新增2430个确诊病例，全国累计已达11689例，死亡174例。新唐人记者乔安综合报道。
Yesterday, there has been some promise with hydroxychloroquine, this potential therapy for people who are infected with coronavirus. Is there any evidence to suggest that, as with malaria, it might be used as a prophylaxis against COVID-19?
No, the answer is no. And the evidence that you're talking about, John, is anecdotal evidence. So as the commissioner of FDA and the president mentioned yesterday, we're trying to strike a balance between making something with a potential of an effect to the American people available at the same time that we do it under the auspices of a protocol that will give us information to determine if it's truly safe and truly effective. But the information that you're referring to specifically is anecdotal. It was not done in a controlled clinical trial, so you really can't make any definitive statement about it.
Mr. President, on those therapies?
I think, without seeing too much, I'm probably more of a fan of that than maybe than anybody. But I'm a big fan. We'll see what happens. And we all understand what the doctor said is 100% correct. It's early. But I've seen things that are impressive. We'll see. We're going to know soon. We're going to know soon, including safety. But, when you get that safety, this has been prescribed for many years for people to combat malaria, which was a big problem, and it's very effective. It's a strong drug. So we'll see.
Fairly effective against SARS.
It was, as I understand that, is that a correct statement? It was fairly effective on SARS.
John, you've got to be careful when you say fairly effective. It was never done in a clinical trial. They compared it to anything. It was given to individuals and felt that maybe it worked. So
was there anything to compare it to?
Well, that's the point. Whenever you do a clinical trial, you do standard of care versus standard of care plus the agent you're evaluating. That's the reason why we showed back in Ebola why particular interventions worked.
Sir, on that topic. About the possible therapies, yesterday, Mr. President, you said that they were for, quote, immediate delivery. Immediate, we heard.
We're ordering, yes, we have millions of units ordered. Bayer is one of the companies, as you know, big company, very big, very great company. Millions of units are ordered, and we're going to see what happens. We're going to be talking to the governors about it, and the FDA is working on it right now. The advantage is that it has been prescribed for a totally different problem, but it has been prescribed for many years, and everybody knows the levels of the negatives and the positives. But I will say that I am a man that comes from a very positive school when it comes to, in particular, one of these drugs, and we'll see how it works out, Peter. I'm not saying it will, but I think that people may be surprised. By the way, that would be a game changer. But we're going to know very soon. But we have ordered millions of units. It's being ordered from Bayer, and there is another couple of companies also that do it.
For clarity, Doctor.
Look, It may work and it may not work. And I agree with the doctor, what he said. May work, may not work. I feel good about it. That's all it is, just a feeling. I'm a smart guy. I feel good about it. And we're going to see. You're going to see soon enough. And we have certainly some very big samples of people. If you look at the people, you have a lot of people that are in big trouble. And this is not a drug that obviously, I think I can speak from a lot of experience because it's been out there for over 20 years. So it's not a drug that you have a huge amount of danger with. It's not like a brand new drug that's been just created that may have an unbelievable monumental effect, like kill you. We're going to know very soon. And I can tell you, the FDA is working very hard to get it out. Right now, in terms of malaria, if you want it, you can have a prescription. You get a prescription. And by the way, and it's very effective. It works. I have a feeling you may, and I'm not being overly optimistic or pessimistic. I sure as hell think we ought to give it a try. I mean, there's been some interesting things happened and some good, very good things. Let's see what happens. We have nothing to lose. You know the expression? What the hell do you have to lose?
The science and the logistics.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
The units that were ordered, are they for clinical trials or are they for distribution to the general patient population?
We are going to, as I understand it, we are going to be taking samples in New York. Governor Cuomo very much is interested in this drug, and they are going to work on it also after they get a certain approval. We're waiting for one final approval from the FDA. We'll see what happens. But we'll use it on people that are not doing great, or even at the beginning of not feeling well.
Sort of fall under the.
And John, what do we have to lose?
So this
Wait, John, it's been out there for so long. We hear good things. Let's see. Maybe it works and maybe it doesn't.
I understand all that. I'm just thinking the application here. So that would be under sort of a modified compassionate access.
We're doing that, I guess, and that's what it's called. Yeah. Yes.
I would like Dr. Fauci, if you don't mind, to follow up on what the president is saying. Should Americans have hope in this drug right now? And, sir, I would like to follow up on Peter's question here. Could you please address Americans in this country who are scared right now? This is a very valid concern that people have.
No, there really isn't that much of a difference in many respects with what we're saying. The president feels optimistic about something, his feeling about it. What I'm saying is that it might be effective. I'm not saying that it isn't. It might be effective, but as a scientist, as we're getting it out there, we need to do it in a way as while we are making it available for people who might want the hope that it might work, you're also collecting data that will ultimately show that it is truly effective and safe under the conditions of COVID-19. So there really isn't different. It's just a question of how one feels about it.
Is there any reason to believe it's not safe?
Well, certainly as a drug, any drug, John, has some toxicities. The decades of experience that we have with this drug indicate that the toxicities are rare and they are, in many respects, reversible. What we don't know is when you put it in the context of another disease, whether it's safe. Fundamentally, I think it probably is going to be safe. But I like to prove things first. So it really is a question of not a lot of difference. It's the hope that it will work versus proving that it will work. So I don't see big differences here.
There are two theories why hydroxychloroquine may work to inhibit COVID-19. Number one, it interferes with replicase, which is an RNA polymerase via zinc transport into cells. Number two, it interferes with heme binding, resulting in fewer free radical iron ions released and a reduction in inflammation. Going back to your grade 10 biology, you realize that DNA codes for all the proteins in the body. Now it does this by making a template of itself through RNA, which is transported into the cytoplasm, and then using the ribosomes, it creates proteins. The novel coronavirus is an mRNA. This is a schematic of the virus, okay, with its outer layers, its spike-like polysaccharides, and then on the inner aspect is the mRNA. The problem is our cells don't have a way to copy RNA. So how does this virus copy itself? Well, the novel coronavirus creates its own copier. It binds on to an ACE2 receptor on the surface of cells. Through this, it's able to enter the cell. The RNA is released, and it uses the cell's own machinery, the ribosomes, which scan the RNA and make proteins. One of the proteins that it makes is something called an RNA polymerase or a replicase. This is a very smart little enzyme which scans the viral RNA as well and allows it to replicate or reproduce and create copies of itself. What happens next is the infected cell dies and the viral proteins are released to infect other cells. How does hydroxychloroquine work? Well, hydroxychloroquine, the first theory is it's an ionophore. And this is something on the surface of a cell which catalyzes the transport of an ion such as zinc across the surface of the cell. So zinc is transported through these ionophores into the cell and it binds onto the RNA polymerase. And this prevents the virus from reproducing. The second way hydroxychloroquine is postulated to work is in red blood cells. We've got a molecule called hemoglobin, which contains a porphyrin ring with an iron in the middle. The COVID-19 virus binds on to the porphyrin and displaces the iron. Now, the iron that's displaced is a very potent inflammatory molecule. It upregulates two things, one called IL-6, another one called CRP, and they're very potent inducers of inflammation. This is what makes you feel really unwell when you have the flu. Ferritin, another molecule upregulated, binds onto the iron to try to mop it all up. Hydroxychloroquine, our little gold star here, enters the cell. It also binds on a porphyrin. And by doing so, it inhibits the ability of the COVID virus to displace the free iron. The dose that has been used to treat COVID-19 is 400 milligrams twice a day for the first day, and then 400 milligrams once a day for the next 4 days. This should only be prescribed by an experienced health professional. There's no evidence to suggest taking this before you're infected will be of any benefit. Again, if you want more information on hydroxychloroquine, you can visit my website, roominfo.com. Remember, stay safe and stay home.
用藥嗰組人裡面咧，就佢一部分咧就淨係用一種藥，即係 hydroxychloroquine 啫。咁另外一部分咧就用 hydroxychloroquine 再加埋咧 azithromycin 抗生素兩種一齊用嘅。大家可以睇一睇呢個圖表先。咁咧就呢度有啲簡寫嘅 HC 咧就即係 hydroxychloroquine 啦。咁即係話今次我哋主要講呢隻藥。AZ 咧就係即係 azithromycin 即係抗生素咁樣。咁就嗱，你大家睇一睇咧，就第一行啦，就係兩種藥都冇用，即係 control 嚟嘅。咁就大家可以睇到咧，6日之後咧，就只有咧就12.5%嘅人咧嘅病毒係冇咗嘅啫，即係大部分嘅人咧，即係80%幾嘅人咧，就嗰啲病毒咧喺個鼻咽嗰度都仍然相當之多。咁大家睇落一行啦，就淨係 HC 即係淨係用 hydroxychloroquine 嗰組人。咁淨係用 hydroxychloroquine 呢種人咧，到 day 6即係6日之後咧，咁個鼻裡面嗰個病毒量咧都好咗啲喎，57% 以上嘅人咧，咁個病毒已經冇晒啦。咁未算喎，大家咧再睇下一行，即係話 HC 再加埋咧就 AZ， 即係話抗生素同埋呢個 hydroxychloroquine 兩種藥一齊用，咁個效果咧就更加戲劇性啦。即係話喺 day 6用咗呢兩種藥6日之後咧，100% 嘅病人咧個鼻咽裡面咧就已經完全冇晒嗰啲病毒啦。咁你會話，咁呢個結果都係個鼻咽裡面有冇病毒啫，實際咧就未必係話個療效好好啊，醫好晒啊，重症都有用啊。咁呢個係嘅，咁但係你話係咪佢完全冇用咧？咁嗱，大家要留意到咧，因為最近都有啲研究咧，發覺嗰啲新冠肺嘅病人咧，就算佢啲病徵好好多之後咧，佢都一路帶住個病毒咧，就可以去到20日咁耐嘅。咁如果佢帶住病毒咁耐咧，咁佢咧就你唔放得佢出院㗎嘛，咁佢霸住醫院啲床位咧，咁對醫療系統咧係一個好大嘅壓力嚟㗎。尤其是咧，如果病毒真係大爆發嘅話，咁床位會好緊張㗎嘛。所以如果呢隻藥佢真係能夠咧就減低到病人帶住病毒個時間嘅話咧，其實都相當令人鼓舞啊！ 法國政府咧就睇到呢個初步嘅研究咧，佢咧就都打算咧就再發啲錢落去咧，希望咧就呢個研究咧喺第二啲嘅大學啊、醫院啊咁樣咧就做啲再大規模嘅研究咧，睇下個結果咧係咪都一樣咁好。咁但係我都一定要提一提大家咧，真係唔好話聽到呢個咧就即刻走去嘗試去買呢啲藥嚟食喎。呢個hydroxychloroquine咧唔係冇副作用嘅，佢都可以咧，譬如影響眼啊嗰啲咧有啲好麻煩嘅副作用嘅。所以咧咩藥都好咧，一定要睇醫生先至可以食，一定咧要俾多啲時間，等啲大規模嘅研究咧出咗結果咧，先至能夠咧講得實佢真係有冇用啊。如果呢隻藥真係 turn out 出嚟咧就有用嘅話咧，咁因為咧佢就非常之平啊，同埋咧就呢隻藥已經喺度幾十年㗎啦，咁大家咧都好清楚佢嗰個副作用啊咁樣，咁就同埋佢係舊藥咧，咁而家已經有大量嘅藥喺度，咁如果要擴大生產，亦都唔係好似新藥咁困難啊。但係呢個 hydroxychloroquine 咧，同埋呢個 azithromycin 咧，兩種藥咧都有啲資料顯示咧，佢咧就有少少會影響心律不整嘅。如果兩樣加埋一齊，會唔會更加有啲危險性咧？就呢樣嘢真係好難講啦。其實呢個連研究裡面咧，就兩隻藥一齊用嘅人咧，都需要咧就只係一路睇住佢哋嗰個心電圖，睇下有冇啲心律不整嘅情況。咁所以咧就我哋始終都係審慎樂觀啦。我哋咧期待佢咧嗰個結果係好嘅，咁但係咧就都唔能夠話盲目樂觀。而家要做嘅咧，大家都係即係氹啲都講句啦，都要繼續咧就洗手、戴口罩、keep 住同人嘅距離，希望咧就疫苗啊、藥物嗰啲咧快啲有好嘅結果。好，今日就講到呢度先啦。咁如果你未訂閱我呢個頻道嘅，咁麻煩你都撳翻個訂閱掣。